Not creeping up on
Yes,
you.
he was.
Do you want to get it's private. So if you like to get off, that'd be great.
Welcome to Noxium, where police power meets public accountability.
This episode is brought to us by Yardley Ski Auditing. Be sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. Yardley Ski is filming in the car park at Kemp Police Station when an inspector steps in and immediately attempts to move him along, acting as though he has no right to be there. No clear rule is identified. No proper explanation is provided, just a push to remove him from the area. Other officers join in with the same approach, backing the instruction without offering anything that properly justifies it. It begins to feel less like a lawful directive and more like reliance on presence and pressure to achieve compliance, which does not stand up when challenged.
This is the police premises here.
Is it?
You're on police property here.
Am I?
Yeah.
I'm in a car park.
Yeah, it's part of the police station.
Yeah, it's public.
It's not, I'm afraid.
Yeah, go on then. Show me different.
Right, I'm going to ask you to leave again.
Section 33 under the Criminal Justice Act 1972 gives me public accessibility to the car park.
No, I'm afraid this is a private area.
Where does it say it's private?
Police station.
Where does it?
I'll ask you to come back out onto the main public area, where I'm more than happy to talk to you.
Okay, so you are?
I'm Inspector Creed.
Okay.
You ask the public to remain on the
Yeah,
public
there's no
area.
signage. There's no signage. There's nothing blocking me
You've
from
just
stopping
come-
me from walking round.
Well, there is a barrier there.
Yeah, that's for
and there's
cars.
a fence there.
That's for cars. I didn't jump over anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can help you with at all?
Yeah, you can stop abusing my rights and let me feel.
The inspector comes in forcefully from the outset, behaving as though his word alone should be sufficient to remove Yardley Ski without identifying any legal basis to support it. Yardley refers to Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1994, which addresses trespass on designated sites. That point is significant because, for a location to be restricted, it must be clearly defined as such. It cannot simply be determined on the spot. The inspector does not engage with this at all, which highlights that he is not addressing the legal framework. There is also the clear issue of signage. There is nothing present indicating that Yardley Ski is prohibited from being in that area. No warning, no restriction, no indication whatsoever. This fundamentally weakens the inspector's position, because if access is not clearly limited, it cannot be arbitrarily imposed in the moment. Rather than addressing any of these points, he continues to repeat the same line.
It says there, vehicle gate. Pedestrians must use designated access gate only. Well, I'm a pedestrian, and basically that's telling me.
Getting through.
No, I didn't say that I'm going through, but it's not prohibiting me.
As part of our insurance reasons, as well as the security of the site, we don't allow members of the public on here. So that's why I'm asking you to leave and move out onto the public area.
Well, I'm going to decline because it's a car park. It's an open car park.
Okay.
Please don't creep up on me.
Not creeping up on you.
Yes, he was.
Do you want to get it's private. So if you like to get off, that'd be great.
Excuse me, Inspector.
That'd be
These
great.
are your
Private-
guys.
Is this private property?
These are your guys.
Private property.
Listen.
Would you like to go?
Step away from me, please.
No, I'd like you to move off.
Step away from me, please. Step away from me, please. From me, please. Exactly. Take a step back a second. Step away. Step away. No, this guy is escalating the situation. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
DC 30,000.
Who?
30,000.
Yeah,
My
a little bit
number
like
is
Andre,
DC
yeah?
30,000. 30000.
Okay, that's your shoulder collar, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
The inspector begins reaching for anything that might sound persuasive: insurance, security, whatever appears convincing in the moment. But none of this constitutes law, and it suggests he is searching for justifications rather than relying on a clear legal basis. These are, at best, internal considerations, not enforceable powers over someone standing in an open, publicly accessible area. Additional officers arrive. One immediately moves in close, attempting to crowd Yardley Ski into leaving, which quickly shifts the situation from a discussion into something more akin to intimidation. It escalates to the point where the inspector has to instruct his own colleague to step back, and that speaks volumes. Even he recognizes that a line is being crossed. When officers have to rein in their own team, it is no longer controlled policing. It reflects a loss of composure.
Okay, show me your warrant card.
They don't have to show you a warrant card.
All right, then show me what? Show me some ID then.
You're speaking to me.
No. He came up to me, and you saw how aggressive he came up to me.
You are with me.
Excuse me, Inspector.
I have asked you
I was talking to
move
you,
onto the
and then
public
this
area.
guy DC 3000 come up to me in an aggressive manner.
Why?
So you step away.
what
Otherwise,
I need you to do now
identify yourself.
is before this
Inspector,
before this
I'm asking him to
escalates,
identify himself. You saw how
given
threatening.
you-
No, he came towards me in a
you his
threatening manner.
identification.
He hasn't.
He hasn't
No,
threatened
he
you.
hasn't shown me no
but he has
identification,
threatened you.
Inspector. Unless you're going to identify yourself and show me your warrant card.
I've explained to you who I am.
No, you're in plain clothes. Right? Don't come up to me and threaten me like that. I don't know who you are. How many people am I talking to?
Me.
Yeah?
Hello.
Well, actually, I was talking to the inspector, so all you guys just step away. Step away, everybody.
Colleagues, if I can ask you just to move back.
Yeah,
slightly.
just go,
Right.
bye, go.
So,
Yardley Ski asks to see the detective constable's warrant card, which is a perfectly legitimate request, and the response only makes matters worse. The officer turns it away from the camera instead of presenting it clearly, while the inspector supports this by claiming he is not required to show it, which is a poor interpretation. Under established police guidance, officers are expected to identify themselves and display their warrant card when requested, particularly during interactions with the public, not conceal it or treat it as optional. That alone highlights a lack of transparency. Another officer then attempts to step in, prompting the inspector to instruct them to move back as well, which speaks volumes about how the situation is being handled. When multiple officers need to be pulled away, it is neither controlled nor professional. It becomes a group pushing boundaries, with the inspector attempting to contain the situation after the fact.
we've been speaking for a little while now, so what I
No,
would like you
I
to
do
do...
not want these people around
before
me.
my colleagues,
Well,
just
I'm not going
what
nowhere
I'm
until they...
concerned about
No.
is there's a number of my colleagues now getting involved.
Well,
and they've
then
got
tell
other
them to
things
go.
be doing.
Tell them to go,
So what I would
Inspector.
like you to
Inspector,
do
please
is
tell
walk
them
with
to go.
me onto the public area.
Tell them to go first.
No, I'm not going to tell them to
Why?
go.
Section 4A, yeah? Public order. Yeah, I think so. Okay? So don't turn around and start saying that it's down to me. Tell these guys to slide away.
Colleagues, they are police employees.
Yeah.
They are entitled
And they
to
don't
be
have to
within the
identify
police
themselves,
station.
no?
No, because you're on a police station.
Okay, they don't have to identify themselves.
No.
They do. Yes, they do. It doesn't matter where I am. They have to
haven't
identify
identified
themselves.
yourself.
I don't need to. Yeah.
In removing you from the
What,
private
forcibly?
area. Yes.
Didn't you say you wasn't going to forcibly remove me?
I do not wish to.
Might as well stop unless you're going to forcibly remove me.
I'm not going to forcibly remove you.
Okay.
for anything.
Trespass is a civil matter.
There are
okay.
signs up
Where? Show me.
over there where I'm pointing.
The inspector attempts to justify the situation by instructing Yardley Ski to leave on the basis that his own colleagues are becoming involved, which reveals the underlying issue. Rather than managing his team effectively, he shifts the responsibility onto Yardley as though he is the problem. Yardley then raises Section 4A of the Public Order Act 1986. While this is a high threshold, it underscores a legitimate concern. Being surrounded, pressured, and addressed in that manner could reasonably make someone feel harassed. Yet, the officers do not appear to consider this at all. When questioned about why they have not identified themselves, the inspector's response only compounds the issue. He claims they are not required to do so because they are at a police station or because Yardley has not provided his own details. That is not an accurate interpretation. Officers are expected to identify themselves when engaging with members of the public, regardless of location, and linking that obligation to Yardley's actions reflects a misunderstanding of basic professional standards. Before we continue, there is something I have been developing over the past few months with a small team. It is called Underwatch, because whether people acknowledge it or not, the legal landscape in this country is evolving. Police powers are broad, enforcement is active, new legislation is being introduced rapidly, and most people only realize what they do not know when they are already in a difficult situation. Underwatch is designed to ensure you understand the system you live under at all times. Inside, there are over 100 fully interactive legal guides. This is not passive reading. You make decisions and see how those decisions impact your legal safety, escalation risk, and evidential position. StopBot is built directly into the platform, a policing-focused AI designed specifically around UK law. It breaks down powers and legal thresholds clearly, and in guide mode it functions like a tutor, expanding on the material and reinforcing your understanding so you are not second-guessing yourself. There is also a daily UK policing news feed focused on real-world activity, incidents, operational developments, and crime. Alongside that are exclusive in-depth articles from me, analyzing police misconduct cases, upcoming legislation, and what it all means in practical terms. Then there are the protection tools, a live drone safety map with NOTAM awareness, a civil claim checker to assess potential liability, a police complaint generator, a subject access request builder, and more features being added over time. This is not built around outrage. It is built because policing in the UK is at a critical point, and people need to remain informed, prepared, and protected. It launches soon at an affordable monthly price. If you want to see it in full when it goes live, the Underwatch channel is linked below in the description.
What does it say?
It says this is Kent Police property.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's still, it's
There's also
still
a barrier
public. It's accessible.
and a fence.
It's accessible.
Okay.
Your guideline states that you should leave me alone. Why?
I'm fully aware of the guidelines.
Okay, you are fully aware of the guidelines?
Yes.
Trespass is a civil matter.
I am aware of that.
Okay.
Obviously, I would need your full details to be able to move that forward, and you've refused to give those to me, haven't you?
You're telling me that
Right.
I can't
This
stay
is now
here.
the last time I'm going to ask you if there's anything I can do to help you before I ask my colleagues to assist in removing you from police premises.
Come on then, let's go. Let's walk to where you tell me that there's
Okay,
signage.
it's over this way, please.
Identify yourself as
Hey,
well.
I'm good.
Do you want to identify yourself as well? Nah, no identification. Inspector, you run a shoddy lot.
Yardley Ski sets it out plainly. Their own guidance permits filming, and trespass, even if it were applicable, is a civil matter, not something they can enforce in the manner they are attempting. That should have resolved the issue. Instead, it is disregarded, which speaks volumes. When someone understands the rules better than those attempting to enforce them, and those same rules are still dismissed, it exposes a clear disconnect between policy and practice. What is more concerning is how rigid their position remains. There is no willingness to reassess, no effort to reflect on their approach, just a refusal to shift regardless of what is presented. It becomes a matter of numbers, more officers, increased pressure, a stronger physical presence, all directed at achieving an outcome they cannot properly justify. In the end, Yardley leaves, not because the officers were correct, but because they refused to relent. That is the key takeaway. When an individual acting within the law chooses to disengage simply to bring the situation to a close, it does not validate the officer's actions. It underscores how unreasonable the conduct was. That concludes today's video. If you found this episode informative, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps sustain independent coverage. Also, be sure to check out Yardley Ski Auditing. His channel is linked in the description. Show your support, and thank you for watching.